Hi everyone, welcome back. Today's video is going to be a tag and it's called the Colourful Makeup Tag. This was originally created by Anya and I will link to her video down below. I've seen a lot of other beauty bloggers and YouTubers doing this tag and I like colorful makeup, so I wanted to join in. The first question is, when and why did you start using color? And honestly, the real answer is just that I never stopped using color. I was first introduced to makeup when I was 12 years old by my aunt, who took me to a makeup counter, it was a MAC counter, at the Bay in the Rideau Center in Ottawa when I was 12 years old because I needed makeup to bring out my features for figure skating. I was skating competitively and I just needed to look more expressive on the ice. But I quickly discovered that neutrals were not where my love of makeup was, and I quickly started buying colorful eyeshadows from MAC. My first few colors from MAC were definitely neutrals. I had Cork, Ho, Shag, which they no longer make even though I still have that pan, Nylon, Orb. Those were all the neutral colors that I had, but then I started to realize that I really like colors, so I started buying like Swish, which was this horrible shimmery pink. Ugh, would never recommend that one. Fade, Tilt, which is still a beautiful color. I just started snapping up all the colors because I realized that's what I really liked wearing, and honestly I just never got tired of it. So I've been wearing colorful eyeshadow since I was 12 or 13 years old, and I think that's really just sort of helped me over the years because I get a lot of people saying to me, I don't know how you wear such colorful makeup, and honestly for me it's like I just never went down the complete neutral route, so it's not like I ever had to get used to wearing colors because I've been used to wearing colors for like 20 plus years. So that really is my whole color story. I just quickly realized at a very young age that I preferred color over neutrals. Question number 2 is, what is your favorite color to wear? And that is hands down red. It used to be so difficult finding red eyeshadow until about 5 years ago, I guess I would say. And then it quickly just became a very popular color in eyeshadow palettes, but 6 years ago, finding red eyeshadow was painful. It was actually very difficult, and Inglot was the only brand that put out a bright true red color that I could get my hands on. I think about 7 years ago, something like that. And when I started wearing red eyeshadow, it was kind of transformative for me. I had always been led to believe that red eyeshadow would make my eyes look bloodshot, but I think that's more like a very pale pink that has that effect on me. Red eyeshadow brings out my eye color, makes me feel alive, and I just love wearing it so much. Question number 3 is, what is your go-to colorful combination? I have 2 that I go back to all the time, but a lot of it depends on what an eyeshadow palette is presenting to me. So oftentimes, and I don't really know how this happens, but there will usually be a bright emerald jade color that's shimmery in a palette alongside a more navy cobalt matte blue. I'll put the green on the lid and the navy cobalt blue on the outer corner, and that is an easy look that I've gone back to for a very long time. I just feel like it's one of those flawless looks that the combination just never fails me. And in fact, I've gone back to it so many times that I actually try to avoid it when I'm putting together like eyeshadow looks for a palette review because I know I've done it so often. But I'm always disappointed if I don't do it because that color combination is just an absolute knockout, and I really feel like it's a very me look. The other look that I go back to a lot is a little bit more specific in terms of the colors, but I use like a shimmery green Inglot color on the inner part of the lid, and then I use like a turquoise Urban Decay color on the middle of the lid, and then a Urban Decay shimmery deeper purple on the outer corner. I go back to that color combination all the time when I don't really know what to put on my eyes because it's a really solid, colorful look that looks impressive to other people, and really it's just 3 colors, so it's not that difficult to do, but I really like that combo. And I've spoken about that color combination before. I filmed a tutorial for it on my channel, so I can link to that down below. I think it was called like Mermaid Eyes or something like that, but it's beautiful and I love it. Question number 4 is, who are your favorite influencers to follow that inspire you color-wise? And there's 3 that really come to mind. The number 1 has to be Alicia from X Sparkage. I've probably been watching her for like 10 years at this point, and there's something about the way that she puts color on her eyes that I feel like I've continued to emulate over the years. There's just a sort of, I don't know, flow to her eyeshadow looks that really make me want to put it on my eyes. Her color combinations are always gorgeous. They tend to be very vibrant, and she's been doing that for years and years and years. So I've really gravitated towards her sort of makeup style and used it on myself. Now the other two are two Swedish YouTubers, and they are Paulina and I want to say Angelica, because I think that's how you pronounce it. They're both Swedish, and I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing their names wrong. They both put out incredible eye looks in every single video that I watch of theirs, and in color combinations that I would not necessarily think of. Now, what's interesting to point out is while I love their eyeshadow looks on them, sometimes the colors combinations are not necessarily in my taste or in my style. So while I love it on them, it's not necessarily something that I would put on myself. That is not a complaint whatsoever. In fact, a lot of their combinations tend to inspire me because it's not something that I would normally do. And some of it works for me and some of it doesn't. But it's interesting to see people do colorful makeup in ways that are different from your own, because I feel like you can take pieces of how they do their makeup and, you know, use it for yourself. So I think it's really interesting that X Sparkage is somebody that I pretty much just emulate on my own face, or at least I think I attempt to. And Paulina and Angelica are people that I sort of take bits and pieces of how they do their makeup in order to adapt it for myself. So those are three that I go back to all the time in terms of color inspiration. The next question is, what do your family and friends think of your colorful makeup style? My friends all tend to be like either bloggers or ex-bloggers, so they think it's cool because, you know, they like seeing different things. As for my family, they don't really say a whole lot. I don't think they really care, and even if they did, they're probably not going to say too much to me because they know that I don't care what they think about my makeup. My brother did make a comment recently that he thought my eyeshadow matched my backpack, and he's like, "Did you do that on purpose?" And I was like, no, because it was like a bright turquoise or green look, and my backpack is that vibrant. My dad will occasionally comment on lip color if he thinks it's weird, which is generally anything that is not red or nude. Anything outside of the red or nude zone he basically thinks is black. I don't really get it, but he'll often go like, ugh, if I put on anything that's a little bit bizarre. I was wearing a gray lip one time, like a pale gray, not like a dark gray, and he was like, oh, what are those black lips? And I was like, where? I'm not wearing black. Anyway, I mean, he basically is an older man who likes more subtle makeup, I guess, but I mean, their thoughts and comments don't really affect how I wear my makeup at all. The next question is there a color that you're looking for a perfect formula with? And I've seen everybody answer this question very specifically, and when I sat down to think about the answers to these questions, I really couldn't come up with anything for this one, because while I do tend to struggle with purple shades in palettes, I have to say I've already found perfect purple shades in like Inglot singles, so it's not necessarily something I'm hunting for, and really I can't think of a shade that I'm missing in a formula that doesn't work for me, so no, not really. The next one is, would you rather wear neutral lip color and colorful eyeshadow, or colorful lips and neutral eyeshadow for the rest of your life? This is so easy. I'll give up colorful lip colors for the rest of my life, so long as it means that I can wear a rainbow of colors on my eyes. Eyeshadow is the most important thing in makeup to me, and if I can wear colors there, I don't care about the rest of my face. The next one is, what is your opinion on glitter? Love it, hate it, why? Well, I'm wearing glitter today, and I have to say I absolutely adore it. So I like glitter in general. I think it's a fun way to put a lot of like sparkle and dazzle into your makeup look. I wear a lot of body spray that has glitter in it too, so I definitely don't shy away from glitter at all. My collection of Lit Cosmetics glitters is extensive. I probably have 30+ shades, and I snap them up whenever I have the opportunity to. I love glitter in basically every format. It is such a fun thing to use, and I know people don't like it when glitter like falls out on their face, and I'm like, but why does that bother you? That just makes you look like a fairy. Like, I like looking sparkly. And the other thing that glitter is really, really good for is covering up like a makeup mistake. So I put on this eyeshadow look today, and it just was not coming together very well. I did not like the lid shade that I had underneath the glitter because it wasn't working with the outer corner colors. And I was like, well, how do I fix this? And I was like, obviously you use glitter. So I just whacked the glitter on, and I think the eyeshadow look came out really nicely, and it saved the whole look. So glitter is perfect in my opinion, and it really has no flaws. And the very last question is, what is your go-to colorful eyeshadow palette at the moment? And the one that I've been using the most recently is this one by NYX, and this is their Ultimate Shadow Palette, and this is the Brights version. I've been testing this one out a lot for a long while, it feels like, because there's just so many colors in here. And it's not a palette that I would tend to use by itself, just because the finish in here is mostly matte. There's a few that have a little bit of sparkle in here, but I like to put something sort of shimmery on the lid with something that's more matte on the outer corner. And because this doesn't have anything shimmery, I've just been using it with other palettes. But what I like about this one so much is that there is often 2 shades for every color. So there's a red and a pink, which sort of fall in the same spectrum, 2 oranges, 2 pinky purples. Well, there's more purples over here. But the fact that there's 2 shades for each color really helped to sort of like smoke out the outer corner, which is what I've done today. I've got like this paler green through my crease and then the darker one in the outer corner with another black on top. But I like that this palette has that aspect to it because they haven't just thrown one single color in there and called it a day. They've kind of given you more variety. And I'm working on a follow-up to my recommendations for bright eyeshadow palettes, and this has taken me a while to test out just because there's so many colors in here. So this one has definitely been one of my go-to bright eyeshadow palettes recently. I will be talking about it more in an upcoming video, but until then, just know that I do really like the quality in here, and I think it's a good one. All right, that is it for the Colourful makeup tag. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll catch you next time. Bye!